Hi and welcome back to PJ Studios. Today's video will be a little short one. I've been sick for a few days, so I haven't really been able to make anything or post anything. I made like one TikTok, and that was really it. And it was kind of a short. But yeah, I've been working on a film review, a bad film review that I found on Letterboxd, but I had to sadly stop, which is annoying because I kind of wanted to get that done as soon as possible to send it to a friend that I'm going to send it, and he's going to look at it and make sure everything's all good. But yeah, I had to stop that because I was sick. My voice wasn't the best and understandable. It seems to be getting better. But while I was, I also don't also want to get to that because the film was awful. But yeah, while I was sick, I watched Amazing World of Gumball because it's an absolutely fantastic or amazing show, if you could say. And I used to watch it as a kid, so yeah, kind of got that nostalgic. Oh, it's just a fantastic show. I'm actually watching it at the point now. Yeah, I'm currently still watching Amazing World of Gumball at this point in time. But yeah, so while I was watching that, I was like, there's some characters that kind of destroy Elmore, not on purpose, but they either stop or started doing something that just inevitably, without them knowing, destroys Elmore. So I wrote a list of like the four Horsemen. Now, I only really thought of three characters that aren't doing it on purpose. Then the fourth one, I was like, okay, this is the one I can think of that actually is doing it on purpose, and I think like the way that it affects like the Elmore itself is a bit different to like the ones where it's like a Godzilla effect of like that baby, and then obviously you got the turtles where it's like that. I don't want to really include them. I want to do something different, and then also I've added honorable mentions. But let's get on. Yeah, so the first one I didn't like. I've listed them, but they're not in a list of like the most destructed or the least destructed first, and like that. It's just whoever came to my head first. So the first character I thought of was Alan. Now, here is Alan. Yes, Alan is a balloon. Also has a partner called Carmen. Now, Alan is known for one of the most caring and like kind characters in this, in Amazing World of Gumball. Now, there is an episode where, Alan loses his faith in humanity and just stops doing all the caring stuff, and everything just goes to hell. Like, all the colour in the colour just gets drained and everything's grey. So, Gumball and Darwin have to go figure out what's happening in the world and then find a whole bunch of other problems that have gone wrong. They're walking down and they see that there's a big, the sun's glaring and it just seems hot as hell. That's because Alan used to volunteer taking out and recycling, but because he's quit, there's a bunch of garbage and there's torn a hole in the ozone layer, making it super hot. And then there's a bit where he also used to volunteer at the old place home for bingo, so the old people are just going absolutely crazy. Same in the forest with the scouts, because he used to volunteer, and the scouts are just going absolutely maniac, which also, for the scouts at least, works in Gumball's and Darwin's favour, because they get captured by the scouts, but then soon realise because the scouts have just got all the badge but don't actually know how to use them, works in their favour because they're not doing it properly. Then there's the zoo as well. Alan stopped volunteering for the zoo, and the zoo, the animals are just going maniac, and a monkey attacks like a police officer. There's a bit where there's a graffiti everywhere because Alan stopped cleaning it up. And they soon realise that there's a homeless person that's just covered in graffiti. So, my second character that I thought of was Larry. Now, if you've seen Amazing World of Gumball, you know who Larry is, and Larry is the person that works everywhere. And there's an episode where the Watersons kind of just abuse, or they just say some stuff to Larry, and Larry just hates what he's doing because he's working in nearly every job, so he's getting all the the complaints and abuse from people because the Watersons have done it on the same day, all of them. And the last one is Richard to do it when he orders the pizza, and he wants the pizza as soon as possible, making it impossible time for Larry to actually deliver the pizza that he just quits. And as soon as he quits, the economy just tanks, and then the world, Elmore just falls into a fallout state where there's a big explosion and it's just fallout mode. There's no money or whatsoever, so they're trading dead rats, which is at the start where Larry works again, and because there's no money, he's you can pay me in this and this and this, and then Richard pays him in 3 rats. So that was my second character that came to my mind. Then the third, which also would involve Larry in this situation, it's Richard Waterson, or if you're Darwin, Mr. Dad. Yeah, now there's an episode where Richard gets a job, and then the universe just goes to hell. Like, yeah, the universe gets absolutely destroyed because he's getting a job, and every time he's like speeds on his moped, it just destructs the world, and like, yeah, the time, yeah, a rift through time just gets like changed, and they're all getting like changed. Like the bit where they get swapped into different ones. There's a bit where they gender swap. There's a bit where they get turned into an actual cat. There's a bit where they're outside the car. They get put back in time. There's a bit where it's almost like a beam on the last house is gonna get delivered. Yeah, and then the world's just gonna like big bang. So this is where I stop and like leave to the first character that actually is doing this on purpose, which is Rob. Now, there were probably other characters that I could probably put on this, but I felt like Rob was like the main character that I should put on this because it's Rob, the arch nemesis of Gumball, and it makes sense. Now, Rob seems to actually be doing this for a good cause, to save, because it's like the last episode, and because Rob found out that it was being cancelled, he was like, I've got to save this universe from being cancelled so we can continue being alive and not get sucked into the void. So he makes a machine that transforms them into normal characters, so Banana Joe gets turned into a person and not like a banana, and each character's getting like transformed and all that kind of stuff just into like humans, boring old humans. Yeah. But he seems to be doing it good. Obviously, it's not good for Amazing World of Gumball because that's what makes it so good. It's a unique bit, and it's just draining everything of their personality to make them human. But yeah, Rob seems my only character that actually was on this list that was causing damage to Elmore on purpose, but in his way, he thought it was good because it would have saved them from the void, which it actually doesn't. Which I guess, if this new season comes out, maybe we might see Rob again coming out of the void, realizing that he didn't need to do it. Or I doubt they will connect the two series. It probably just like nothing ever happened, or it'll be like the season will be, because it's a spin-off season, it'll be like a time jump where it's like in a different, it's like set in between two seasons or something like that. Who knows? But I'm eager to find out if they will actually mention anything about season 6. So yeah, that was my other one. And then honorable mentions that I thought of was that one butterfly in that one episode where Gumball and Darwin just let it out, and it just kind of like causes. Well, it doesn't really mean to do anything, but every time it like flaps its wings, something just bad happens. Yeah, causing like bits of happening throughout that destroy something really bad. But like he doesn't really seem to. Okay, it probably does. That face that it has, yeah. Definitely. Okay, so this butterfly, I would say, if not, had some cause that it was going. He knew what was going to happen with that face. Then, Barbara Banana. Yeah, Banana Joe's mum. Now, she's got a talent where she can paint stuff, but the paintings that she's doing is just predicting the future, which obviously Rob finds one of the paintings and then realizing that's how Rob goes to do the thing where he's changing all the characters to just humans. So I was like, okay, I feel like we've got to add Barbara Banana to this list because she can predict the future. So I was like, it's cool. It's cool. And like obviously she's predicting like stuff in the future that's going wrong. Like the void coming to take everyone. Obviously, there's a bit where finds that Gumball's naked in a mall, and seems like it hasn't been a lot of the paintings that aren't showing a lot of good things. So, but yeah, that is my list for the 4 Horsemen of Amazing World of Gumball. Hi there, sorry about that. It seems like I've forgotten how to speak properly, but I think I've sorted it out. So, let's get back on with the video. Amazing World of Gumball characters, yes. Now, I'm sure I've probably missed a few. There's so many characters, so many seasons of this show, and it's just a fantastic show. So I guarantee I probably missed a few characters, or like missed certain characters that you think would be better for this lift. If you do, mention them in the comments. Until then, please like and subscribe. Until next time, see you later.